Hey folks, me again. I'm a little lower than you think because I don't have a booster seat. But hearing about the Trudeau government deciding that they want to, all these loans they've been giving businesses, all these for over this COVID-19 horseshit crap, they now they want to take part of your business because they've loaned you the money. Stay tuned and listen.
Joke, but this Wuhan virus really is a 90-day free trial of socialism. Now, Trudeau wants to nationalize your business. If you need government help to get through the closure of your business that the government forced upon you.
Watch this. This is good stuff.
Will we see a renationalization of Air Canada or Petro-Canada? Looks like that could be a very serious possibility.
Those businesses I could give two shits about. But it's the smaller guys
and more
that I'm worried
control
about.
Into the government-backed loans given to big businesses and large employers suffering in the government-mandated coronavirus shutdown. Look at this in the Globe and Mail today. The Large Employer Emergency Financing Facility, or LEAF program, particularly aimed at airlines and oil and gas companies, was announced on May 11th and is designed for distressed companies with at least $300 million in annual revenue. The minimum loan size will be $60 million, and there is no explicit maximum loan size. The program offers the government's help as a lender of last resort to companies that are unable to obtain private financing and would be at risk of falling into bankruptcy owing to the economic impact of the novel coronavirus pandemic. The program harks back to the 2008-09 financial crisis when the federal and Ontario governments bailed out GM and Chrysler, owning and then selling shares in those companies. The details of LEAF state that a company must provide the federal government with the option to purchase common shares through a stock warrant or receive cash.
So the bottom line is, what they're doing is they're loaning you this money, and then at the end of it, now they're going to say that they want 20% of your business. So what they're doing is basically making socialism a normal thing. They're going to take all the money that they've loaned you in the hopes of making, we're going to help out the businesses. This is what they're doing. But then in the end, what they don't tell you at the end of it is that they're going to take 20% of your business and the Canadian government owns it. And if I'm wrong about this, you can get back to me and tell me about it later. But is this not fucking communism at its finest? It is. This is what the government didn't tell people. And thank God a lot of these businesses didn't break down and take this money. And they're just showing you right now for the big companies, Air Canada and all these companies, which we bail out every fucking year anyhow because all they do is fucking take money. Oh, they make profits. Their CEOs make $20 million a year and shit like that. But when it comes time, when it crunch time, of all the money they made in profits, not net profit, in profits, not after taxes. It's after taxes. They've made billions. So they turn around and they ask for bailouts and everything else. But because of the COVID-19 thing, which the government stuffed on everybody, which shut down businesses, so they're all fucking losing money. And I'm talking about the smaller companies, that make a couple $100,000 a year and stuff like that. They're getting stiffed because they didn't know, and it was probably in the fine print, which they didn't read, which most people don't read the small print, is that we're going to be a 20% owner of your business, which it's a sneaky fucking way of dealing with Canadians, people. They're fucking stiffing you. And remember that thing about, if you work for a company that will subsidize 75% of the wages for the workers that work in these companies? Well, yeah, fine and dandy. But did they know that they could be entitled to taking 20% of your business after, which means they got a say in whatever goes on. This is a crock of shit. Keep going.
Equivalents equal to 15% of the principal amount of the loan. A stock warrant gives an investor, which in this case is the government, the option to buy company shares at a specific price by a specific time. The conditions also say the government could appoint an observer to the corporate board of the company receiving the loan. Alberta Premier Jason Kenney expressed concern Wednesday with the notion of Ottawa holding shares in large public companies.
You might
not want government
fucking Trudeau might own part of your company out of this.
In terms of micromanaging their decisions, he said in Edmonton. What an absolute scam this whole thing is. Let's talk it out for a second. The government first shuts down your business because the government has labeled it non-essential based on some arbitrary government criteria they totally made up as they went along. And now, because you need to go to the government as a lender of last resort, you're desperate to save thousands of Canadian jobs. Again, all because the government destroyed your business in the first place. You now have to give the government an ownership stake in your business, and also the government will force you to put some liberal hack on your board of directors to make sure your business is, extra liberal. And all of this is happening because the government didn't close the border in time to stop the spread of the coronavirus.
So, getting to that part, how do you like that when you hear about that, folks? I fucking think it's a travesty of fucking justice. It's a fucking sham. It's a fucking, your government is fucking sold you down the river, which would make Trudeau a fucking traitor, which is what he is. He's a fucking Chinese fucking puppet, and that's what he does. He's been making up shit as he goes. The guy's hiding in a fucking, here's one for you. Why is he still hiding in a fucking, in a cottage while his wife and his kids are in a house and everything? The guy's growing a fucking beard. He's got nails on him about this fucking long now. He's gone fucking nuts. It reminds me of Apocalypse Now. When you see the guy, looks like me kind of, shaving his fucking head and sweating. Marlon Brando. Remember that shit? And they were sent to take him out. Maybe someone needs to do the same for that guy. Or at least put him in a fucking loony bin. Because, folks, this is Rebel News, which I'm showing here, and I give all credit to them because they're one of the only news agencies in Canada that is not funded by the Liberal government. They're actually got the Liberal government in court again for a second time because they're not allowed to ask questions during question period. The only ones, the majority, which I think is like about 70% of the questions that are allowed are by the CBC, and then it's global or whatever. Don't quote me on the percentages, but that's what's going on. And continue.
That failed public health minister Theresa Tam was forced to admit this week before her appearance at the House of Commons Health Committee. You can see that story and sign our petition at firetam.com. But this isn't the first time the feds have made the very businesses they caused to struggle due to Liberal incompetence swear some sort of allegiance to the Liberals to be able to qualify for some government help. Hidden in the newly launched Canada Emergency Business Account, that's a brand new government coronavirus relief program administered by the banks, but done in cooperation with Export Development Canada, that allows small businesses to qualify for an interest-free loan of up to $40,000, is a big fat Liberal landmine. The new CEBA program, just like that Leaf Loans program, is tailored to make sure that only Liberal compliant businesses survive the coronavirus mess. To qualify for the government-backed bank loan, these struggling applicant businesses must profess that they do not promote violence, incite hatred, or discriminate on the basis of sex, gender, sexual orientation, race, ethnicity, religion, culture, region, education, age, or mental or physical disability. It sounds okay.
Mental and physical disability. Now, wouldn't that suggest that Trudeau is one of those two people? He's mentally disabled. He's physically fucking a meatball. And gender identity. I don't know about him, but he's kind of a fruitcake as far as I'm concerned. And what do we call here? Color, race, ethnic, or national religion. Hasn't that guy made fun of every fucking national, ethnic, race, and color in his tenure. You've seen the videos of him with the blackface in it when he was in college or university, and a guy was on TV the other day talking about, moms, leave the room. Let me talk to your children. Now, what person in their right fucking mind would leave the room and leave Trudeau on a TV talking to him? Is this guy like a fucking mental fucking gyro ball? He's a meathead. I wouldn't let my kids sit there and talk to fucking someone I didn't know. Especially a guy that's as mentally deranged as far as fucking I think he is, and wants to be the dictator of this country. He wants to be the Stalin. He wants to be the Chung Pao, wow, wow, whatever. Kim Jong-un and Fidel Castro. The one that they say it isn't his father, but they look a fucking lot alike, folks. And let me continue.
Except the problem is the Liberals' definition of those things, like discrimination, hate, and violence, are ever evolving to mean, well, values that don't comport with the stuff that Justin Trudeau likes today. And that's not the only values test the Liberals shoot.
Oh, let me rewind that. There, I don't know if you can see this, but it says legal group to go to court after Bible camps denied federal jobs grant. So, Christians or Jews are not entitled to government grants for Bible camps, which the foundation of our country was raised on, pretty much. We went to war for it, great in World War I, World War II. And Trudeau denied them federal grants. But I don't know if it comes up in this later because I haven't researched it that far, but they also gave out grants to Muslims and other ethnic fucking cultures. But the basis that our country was raised on was denied. Why? Well, maybe we'll find out.
Justin Trudeau likes today. And that's not the only values test the Liberals shoehorned into these business bailouts. Last week, the federal government announced that any large employer applying for any sort of government help would also have to comport with the Liberals' values around climate change before they qualified for federal assistance.
Hear that? But it's okay for us to sell fucking coal by the billions of dollars to China. But we have to be green here. But the biggest polluter in the whole world, is China. But we're the ones selling them the fucking coal.
The government to be a part of your business is a surefire recipe for failure. And even the government knows it, because when the government needed to choose between a crown corporation or a private company that does the exact same thing, well, the Liberals chose the private company. Look at this. The Government of Canada partners with Amazon to help get personal protective equipment to frontline healthcare work.
And where do we get this fucking healthline fucking worker shit? From China. That was proved that the fucking stuff is faulty. It doesn't work. It's no good for anything. It's not good for health frontline workers. And because we gave 16 tons of this shit to China when they had their problem, which we should have kept in our coffers and not theirs.
Yeah, they didn't choose Canada Post. So it's not bad enough that the Liberals are setting your business into financial ruin, but the Liberals also know their involvement in your business as a condition of getting a loan will probably kill it. But they want your business anyway. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid.
There you go, folks. So this is just some of the stuff I've researched and I checked out. And I believe Rebel News right to the teeth because they don't get money from the government. This is all privately funded. They go out there and they do their own fucking work. And you know what? I'd love to work for them. They could pay me, as long as they're paying me half decent, I'd do it. And you know what? Fuck you, Trudeau. And I don't believe a word that comes out of the Liberals' mouths. And that's so far tonight, okay?